Welcome to a very special episode. Today, between the allergies, if I'm a little nasally, I apologize for that. It's been really bad lately. We're going to be talking about Generic Ultramarines Guide number 6. Ferren, whatever his last name was, aka one of the better designed character models of late when it comes to generic Primaris Marvel Super Stormtrooper. And I don't know. Let's just move on and talk about the design. I don't read the books because I don't care about Primaris and I don't care about new GW. So, if you like it, congratulations. If you don't, hey, now you feel. So, let me just say this. He's on steps. He's not on a tactical rock. That's fine. The thing is that a lot of these Primaris characters are so boring, so generic, and they're intended to be generic and boring. They're supposed to wash out all of the flavor and interest and grit from the original Space Marines and replace them with something more marketable, even though I would say that the original Space Marines are far more marketable, but that's neither here nor there. In terms of design, he is wearing the same generic, boring, painfully dull Primaris style of armor. I believe it's called Tacticus. It's Mark X. I don't care. He does have a few more things going for him, so he's at least in something of a moddable, in my opinion, pose. Nothing bad with that. He's not technically on a tactical rock. It'd be a lot easier to remove him from that base if you don't want him on that, or you want to do something more interesting with the stairs. The Thunderhammer is not proportionally that insane, even though the front part of the hammer is just seemingly elongated. If this is the version the Primaris tend to use, I don't know, but it does feel like the beginning part of it is a little long. But that's just a personal thing. I like mine a little bit more blocky, blah, blah, blah. So Thunderhammer, he's got some knickknacks you can see, because he's got to carry his battle scrolls with him, and he's got a holster for his elongated bolt pistol, so he can feel like he's got something bigger in his hand. Overall, it's kind of a plain Jane model. So what did they do differently? Well, they gave him a horseshoe from winning the Ultramarine Company horseshoe competition. Fantastic. They've just bolted that right onto a generic backpack. So the sculptors tried real hard on that one. His stupid little gorget, or neck protection if you prefer, has a dumb cutout for the U. Something that I've consistently hated with Tacticus is this stupid ridge on the knees and the stupid neck protecting armor, because they always look at it and go, what if we made a cutout right where your throat is? And I go, wow, that's really stupid. You probably should do that. And then they do it anyways. So I don't really like that, but it's in a U because Ultramarines. I'm glad he's got his birthday novelty badge on his chest. I don't think he could bring his arm over any because of how large it is. He's 6th place, just so we know. And does it look like they did a poor job on the V there? It definitely does. Overall, that award looks ridiculously large and dumb. And if they shrunk it to about closer to what the circular part of it is itself, that would actually make more sense. But meh. His targets are fine. Nothing wrong with that. His little servo skull is riding upside down. That's one I've noticed. And it looks like he's carrying a roll of toilet paper. Fantastic. Glad he's doing that. He's ready for the master. He's the Master of Rites, after all, if I am not mistaken. He knows when to deploy those tactical holy rolls when you need them. overall, it's an unoffensive model that's boring, and for the most part, you could really easily chunk out some of the details and replace them with things. You could easily mod the character. But there's a bigger question I have is, what's the point of this character? Like, why does this character need a model? Why did they go through the effort of making another Ultramarine character that they're going to sell for a ridiculous price from a book that sells so well and so overwhelmingly that we just need to have this character? He's so popular, despite the fact I didn't know he was a character until I looked into it, that we really needed to pump a model out and get it right out there. Because honestly, he looks like he's a generic Space Marine lieutenant or / captain, and I just don't see anything. Like, pretty much all of his additions could have been sold on an upgrade sprue for the Ultramarines to customize their characters, and you probably would have got most of the same bits of enhancements there. Just in general, this would not, under like my leadership in a fictional company, let's say we have Battle Mace or Warflow. Ooh, Warflow. We'll go with Warflow. So under my fictional leadership of Warflow TM Incorporated, we would not be allowing a pointless additional character to be produced for especially a sub-faction of a faction that's already represented. Like, this character just doesn't have any need. It's like, okay, well, if we really definitely, like, this character was so popular, he warranted it, why not provide an upgrade sprue for people who want to make that character with an existing model? Just a thought there. But overall, I don't see a point for this character to have a model that people couldn't have just kit bashed. I don't see a reason for yet another Ultramarine character, and what little differences there are in designs there are with the Master of Plumbing Rites, I just don't see as something that demands the production of another character. There are things that need more attention, right? There are things that warrant a higher degree of consideration, as opposed to yet another Ultramarine character. I don't even think this is something that's going to sound unreasonable to Ultramarine fans. We did not need another nameless, or well, he has a name, another pointless Ultramarine character when there's so many other things in these lines that could have been done. You know what would have made this character more of a bold statement? Maybe you could have actually even considered something. Let's say you're one of those people who doesn't like Primaris, and you produce at the same scale an OG Mark 7 Marine. He has all of the options, and you can use him as a Primaris lieutenant. You can say he's a OG Marine, whatever. Would that not be something, even if it's superfluous and pointless in a way, in terms of a model, don't you think that would have a higher reach than a character that just kind of gets shoved into things and kind of has a couple books about him, but isn't lighting the world on fire, let's just say? Wouldn't that have been more? And you could have had all of the options on that model right there. Wouldn't that have been like far more interesting and different at this point than just making another Ultramarine character based off a character who I'd assume is at least somewhat successful? Who knows? I don't. Otherwise, in terms of design, it's not a bad design, even if there's a bunch of elements of it that just seem stupid. But it doesn't stand out enough. If you go with the full helmeted option, he just looks like another dime a dozen Primaris lieutenant. So I'm going to give him the old 5 out of 10. IGN would be proud. That's all. Bye-bye.